Welcome to the Peak Performance and Peak Satisfaction podcast with Master Executive Coach Sherry Gregoff. Sherry helps business people perform better, get rewarded handsomely, and actually enjoy their work. After having her own career turnaround, she now helps other high-powered business professionals experience the same. Join the movement to work differently.
Welcome to the podcast. It's great to have you here. If you are facing a crucible moment in your career that could pivot everything, this episode is for you. When we are at a milestone in our work that could catapult us forward, it's time to lock in. Success at these times certainly builds our self-efficacy, but there are hacks to help tip the scale towards success now, even ahead of that opportunity presenting itself. In fact, these steps are sure to usher in the pivotal milestone sooner rather than later. Before we jump in, I want to shout out one of my clients who had a win in this area. Here's the quote from her. "I got the job. It's wonderful news. Thank you for all your help to prepare me for this process." This client clarified her career goal to become her boss's successor, and then she made it happen. When she first verbalized this goal to me, she was sheepish about it. She didn't see her boss moving on anytime soon, and she doubted whether she was even ready. But she wanted to set it as a development goal and start working towards it. Within months, she heard the news that her boss was leaving and throwing all of his weight behind her to be his takeout. She was shocked, but used this moment to lock in. She was asked to step in as interim head of the region to fill her boss's shoes, while she kept her current job too. There would be an external hiring process, and all the candidates would be considered before the best fit was hired. It was daunting to hold the two roles and participate in a lengthy interview process alongside candidates from outside the firm. She pressed on in interviews with the CEO, Chief Sales Officer, and her new peers heading up other regions. We prepared her for taking the role on an interim basis, delegating much of her old role to her own leadership team and putting her best foot forward in the interview process. In the end, she was selected to take the role permanently. She was thrilled. This entire experience served to boost her self-efficacy, her belief in herself, to accomplish even goals that felt like a long shot at one point. It increased her motivation, perseverance, and resilience. Similar victories are shared by all of my clients, and I have experienced it too in my own career turnaround. So let's hop to today's podcast content and get you on your way to experiencing this also. Taking the hill. In a military context, we might be advancing towards a more strategic position, like up on a hill with a better vantage point, but potentially already claimed by the other side. To grow and improve our position, it will likely involve overcoming obstacles, seizing an opportunity, and achieving a goal or objective, which may require determination, teamwork, and strategic planning. We know up front that it's going to be challenging, and yet we press forward towards success. There is a level of boldness and confidence that can be more than rare when the stakes are so high. It's precisely this level of self-belief that makes it possible for us to take the hill in our career and in any other significant life goals. In this episode, we will explore the concept of self-efficacy and how to cultivate it so that when we're faced with these pivotal career moments, we can channel it on demand to great success. So many of my clients come to me with sky-high levels of self-efficacy, but with a new area or a new twist that they're working to apply it to. I've had a parallel example of today's client win take place. In that case, it was a diverse woman leader looking to step into her boss's role on a permanent basis. She received mixed advice from colleagues, cautioning her to be careful what she wished for. The fact that she was the first woman of color to hold that role in her company, a company seen as best in class in her industry, it was not lost on her. It felt like taking the hill. It became a mission not only for her to prove to herself what she could do, but to her daughter too, who was about to begin her own career in the same field as a woman of color. She did it. She did both roles on an interim basis, and after a full interview process up against internal colleagues and external candidates, she was selected. She saw it as possible for her first, and then our preparation made it feel probable. Another client began his work with me with high levels of self-belief in him and his team to over-deliver on business targets with excellence. His track record and accolades served as concrete measures of what was possible. And our work together, the hill he wanted to take, was how to maintain that level of excellence in a more sustainable way, with better health and less stress for when he turned to spending time with his all-important family. Sustainable success was his next level, and this is where we're building his self-belief that he can have it all, excellence professionally and personally. There's another client I will call out, a business owner who is in the middle of closing the deal of his career. Having done a capital raise to secure funding, he is making a purchase that will grow his operation and modernize it for decades to come. This landmark transaction will create generational wealth for his children and leapfrog his company's production. It's taken a high level of self-efficacy to even bring the business to this point, and in the space of the next month, it will come to fruition. There have been challenges at every step, difficulties and setbacks that would have sent most CEOs into retreat, but he is not backing down. Every instance has served to double down his commitment, his resilience in the face of challenge, and perseverance to channel every ounce of determination and ingenuity to find solutions and keep going. I share these examples to inspire you and to remind you that your opportunity to take the hill might be just around the corner. In anticipation of that, there are steps we can take today to increase our self-efficacy such that we are ready to seize the opportunity when it arises. Here are some specific next steps to build your level of belief in yourself now. The first step is to cultivate a mindset of knowing your unchanging identity of who you are and what you do. In a sea of uncertainty in the business world, our brain loves to focus on the threat of the unknown, scanning for potential problems. Our brain can get tied up in knots thinking of all the open and unanswered questions about our situation and our future. The counteracting move to make here is to steer your brain back to what we do know in this moment. For example, we may know that we'll do our best in our work and put our best foot forward. In my years of dance and performing, we would describe it as leaving it all on the floor. When we make our best effort, there's no regrets. Even if it didn't work out as planned, we take comfort in knowing we did the best we could with what we knew and what we had at the time. It's who we are. Another element of your identity that might be unchanging for you could be that you never retreat. In your career, you never quit. You may quit a job, but you never quit on your goal or your career vision. It may evolve over time, but you remain committed. You get what you came for. You achieve whatever you put your mind to. You don't back off or give up, even when things get tough. Revisiting elements of your self-identity, such as these examples, can be your ballast in that sea of uncertainty, what brings the calm in the storm, the constant direction and groundedness. When things get hard and you're tempted to slip into self-pity or being the victim, here's your second step. recognize this urge and the big feelings that accompany it. There may be anger towards others or towards evolving circumstances that seem unfair or not in your plan. When these emotions come, let them. What we resist persists, so don't stuff down the anger or resentment or discouragement, but give yourself a time limit on how long those feelings get to hang around and dominate in your headspace. Thoughts like, why can't this just be easier for me? Why can't things just go my way here? Why does this have to be so hard? In a typical day, you might allow yourself a 5-minute pity party for that unexpected curveball that threw off your plan for the day. If it's a bigger life challenge, it might be a day or two that you give yourself to grieve the missed expectation, and then get right back to it. Extended self-pity can become all-consuming, so notice if this is a lengthy routine and break it with intention. You'll never feel better having spent extended amounts of time in self-pity or as the victim of what's happening around you. Next, in building our self-efficacy, is to be decisive in cutting our losses. When there is a challenge, we face it head on. If something is broken, cut your losses by moving on. This may be recognizing something broken in your operation and making the unplanned investment to fix it. It might be recognizing the underperformer on your team and taking steps to manage them up or out. It may be facing the music that your new boss and you just aren't a fit, and it's time to find another role that sets you up for success. When we resist accepting the loss in the situation, whether the cost of the business investment, the cost of firing an employee and hiring and training a new one, or the cost of walking away from a role and company where you had tenure, there comes a time where we have to cut our losses, accept the sunk cost, and move on. Flexing that muscle to make the tough decisions will remind yourself that you can adjust your plan to reap the maximum benefit in any situation. Another step to take is deciding to do the thing, even with the fear. I'm coaching a client who is launching her own business. She describes the feeling as excited and scared. When we are making bold moves in our careers, know that there will be fear. This doesn't mean that we should freeze and wait until there is no fear. Fear is just an indicator that it's important to you. It may accompany any time that you are taking a risk by doing something new or different. Instead of seeing it as a traffic light turning yellow for you to slow down and take caution, keep going. This healthy fear will start to be a gentle reminder that you are on the right track of being bold and learning from doing new things. We can even welcome the fear as affirmation that we aren't succumbing to the status quo. Next, when there are evolving circumstances happening around you, changes that are outside of your control, instead of letting this send you into fight or flight, embrace the challenge as opportunities for growth. I read recently that chaos or unplanned developments are just fertile ground for proving to ourselves that we can remain grounded in our values and our goals. When things outside of our control pop up around us, we have two ways of looking at the situation. We can believe that we aren't capable of handling what is coming at us, or we can choose to find how to make the unexpected development work to our advantage. This is a skill that we can master. It's like solving a puzzle to find the opportunity in every apparent crisis. This is one of the critical skills that I practice with all of my clients. We identify the crisis, we get grounded in what we believe and know about who we are and our own identity. That calms us enough to think creatively about the situation and find the opportunity that makes it work in our favor. There is always an answer if we know how to find it and can manage our mindset effectively to enable it. Another intentional way to build your self-efficacy is to consider every adversity in your past as preparing you for this moment. This may require recasting historical events in your life and even past work trauma, not as strikes against you or open wounds, but as valuable, informative insights into your developing character and increasing wisdom. Instead of lamenting over battle scars, look at them as notches in your belt, experiences and milestones that you have accumulated over time that shaped who you are today. Each one built your resilience and strength to weather whatever might come next with more grace and confidence. Each represents valuable experience, skills, and personal growth. Another way to build self-belief is to filter feedback. When these crucible moments come, know that there will be haters. There may be people who want to see you small, even subconsciously, so they don't feel shown up. There may be people who truly care about you that encourage you to avoid change because they themselves are risk-averse and are worried for you. There may be misplaced feedback that could make you freeze or doubt yourself that really isn't for you to pick up, that really might have more to do with that person and their issues, which you can choose to leave alone as none of your business. I've seen this recently with a friend whose new boss was nearly fired, but received a lifesaver offer elsewhere at the company. In this new role, she is micromanaging to avoid any additional failure, and in the process, terrorizing her team in the name of self-preservation. In this case, feedback from this threatened manager is to be taken with a grain of salt. Always be careful of what advice you incorporate or let sway your level of belief in yourself. Consider the motives and what is happening for the giver of said feedback before blindly incorporating it. When taking the hill, it can be very powerful to verbalize your vision and goal to others. This can make it more real to you, first and foremost. Our spoken word is the most powerful way to set a priority in our subconscious. When said aloud, it immediately increases the stakes on seeing it through. By saying it to others, it introduces more accountability on us to make it happen. I do this all the time. I might gulp when the words come out of my mouth aloud, but then I am acutely aware of the statements I made. It actually sets my subconscious on identifying every opportunity to achieve this goal. It increases my accountability to taking the associated actions that I know will make it happen. It doesn't introduce dread in any way. For me, it feels like raising the stakes, drawing a line in the sand. Our brain can be powerful when wanting to follow through on something we committed to aloud in the presence of others. Lastly, a powerful way to increase the level of belief in yourself is to take small, consistent action towards any goal in your life. I have a client who just mastered a morning routine that sets himself up for his best day, taking care of his health and relationships before he even thinks about work each day. This new habit has encouraged him and energized him by proving his ability to follow through and achieve his goals. It builds our self-efficacy, our belief in our own ability to commit and achieve. What are you super consistent about already? What would you like to add into that rock-solid habit next? By carrying this out, you will get a rush of self-efficacy. You just do whatever it is you put your mind to. All the evidence your brain can gather that is indeed the case will be standing ready for when you commit to that big endeavor and giant goal. It increases your self-confidence in following through and achieving your goals. The mindset and actions we covered today increase your level of belief in yourself. When making an aggressive professional or personal goal, this single ingredient is more important than any other technique or strategy, or even set of external circumstances. Without it, achieving that goal will be impossible. If you don't believe that you can do it, you definitely won't. Here is proof of this being true. When you look around at your career and life right now, everything you see exists because at some point you believed it was possible for you. You thought you could land and perform in this job. You thought you could live in this place with the partner you have. Consider the routine we see many lottery winners and even professional athletes follow. Their earnings grow exponentially in a short amount of time. They haven't actually built up their level of self-belief that they are someone who could steward that amount of money wisely. Usually the money is squandered or lost in record amounts of time. They did not have the identity of being someone who could understand how to effectively manage and have that level of wealth. Our work in this episode, and the work I do continuously with clients, is to develop that level of self-belief so that when the windfall or massive opportunity comes, they are ready to thrive in it. Their own limited beliefs about what is possible for them or what they are capable of doesn't curtail the success and satisfaction available to them. This is a process. It's a practice to rewire old limiting beliefs and evolve our identity to grow into our next version of ourselves and what is possible for us. When we consistently practice this work, we are ready to take the larger role, to launch the business, to close the career-making deal. We believe it's not only possible for us, but a certainty, whether immediately or over time. We are continually stepping into that next version of ourselves with more capability and more innovative ideas about who we are and how we fit into the world around us, about what value we add and our capacity to improve our performance and our enjoyment of our work and this life. This is what allows us to figuratively take the hill, to achieve that new level of growth and development, to take some calculated risks to make a greater impact in this world, to leave our mark, to leave things better than we found it. Isn't this what we're all after? That inherent need to make a meaningful contribution and make a difference. It all comes back to practicing these mindsets and actions from today's episode. I will recap them here for you and in the free download in today's show notes. There are precious opportunities to build your self-efficacy today. This exercise will ensure that you don't miss them. Number 1, what is your unchanging identity of who you are and what you do? When things are uncertain, what do you know for sure? Examples include, we do our best work and we put our best foot forward always, leaving it all on the floor with no regrets. We never retreat or quit. We always find a way towards our goal or our career vision, getting what we came for, achieving whatever we put our mind to, never backing off or giving up, even when things get tough. Number 2, set a time limit on pity parties or grieving missed expectations, feeling like a victim of surrounding circumstances, fighting with reality, before getting right back to it from a position of power. Number 3, be decisive in cutting our losses when something is broken beyond repair, in our operation, in our team composition, in our fit with our own manager. Make the unplanned investment to fix it and accept the sunk cost to move on. This is mastering the skill to adjust your plan to reap the maximum benefit in any situation. Number 4, deciding to do the thing, even with the fear, seeing it just as an indicator that it's important to us, and it accompanies us anytime we do something new or different. In fact, it's a reminder that we're on the right track. Number 5, embrace challenge as opportunity for growth. Find how to make the unexpected development work in our favor. Number 6, consider every adversity in our past as preparing us for this moment, providing valuable, informative insights into our developing character and increasing wisdom, notches in our belt, experiences and milestones that shaped who we are today. Number 7, filter feedback through the giver that might not want to be shown up, or are risk-averse and worried for you, or have their own issues that might be coloring their feedback before blindly incorporating it. Number 8, verbalize your vision and goal aloud to others to increase your own commitment level to making it happen. Number 9, take small, consistent action towards any goal in your life to show yourself how capable you are of committing and achieving. Proof that you just do whatever it is that you put your mind to. If it's been a while since you've taken the big swing in your career or personal life, these tips will help set you up for success. If you could use the support of me as the coach in your corner as you verbalize that big vision aloud and then take steps to create it each week, schedule your free work-life audit at the first link in the show notes. It's the best way to take stock of what is working well and where you would like to see positive change. Then we set your work-life plan to overcome any barriers in your way, including any limiting beliefs, to assure your success and accelerate your results. Until next time.
Looking for support in applying the principles and strategies in today's episode? Sherry coaches clients one-on-one as their trusted confidant and advisor, helping each client create the work and life they had only dreamed of. To schedule your complimentary career strategy session, go to sherrygregoff.com/apply to book time with her today. It's one simple step that can change everything.